From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, March 9th. We're going to get back to near average temps for our Wednesday. Mainly cloudy to start the day, but we will get some sunshine. Finally, highs expected to rise into the upper 40s to low 50s. The 2022 state legislative session is over. Lawmakers wrapped up a midnight debate marathon by passing a major tax cut plan and a bill that drew strong objections from police organizations. Lawmakers passed a $1 billion tax relief package. It cuts the state's income tax from 3.23% to 2.9% over the next 7 years. Republican House Speaker Todd Houston says the goal is to put hundreds of millions of dollars back into your pockets.
We're excited about repealing URT, start the income tax reductions, and gives us a chance over the next 9 months to see where we're at and build see where the budget is and build a budget that I think we'll be able to continue to make investments and also hopefully return even more money back to Hoosier taxpayers.
Houston says once fully phased in, Indiana will have one of the lowest income tax rates in the country. He also says the bill will lower utility bills. And while Republicans say the tax bill is putting money back in the pocket of Hoosiers, House Democratic leader Phil Giaquinta was asked if we'll notice this anytime soon.
And I do think you have to kind of, weigh these things certainly with what can you do with the surplus that we have. And is there, the investments that we've talked about that could go into the state that would create more jobs? And that, I think, Hoosiers would really see impact on their lives.
On top of taxes, a bill loosening Indiana's gun laws now heads to the governor's desk. It allows people to carry a gun in public without a permit. That's unless the person has a felony conviction, is facing a restraining order, or has a dangerous mental illness. The National Rifle Association supports the so-called constitutional carry bill. The NRA sent us a statement saying Hoosiers value their Second Amendment rights. The bill simply codifies the fundamental right of all people to defend themselves wherever a self-defense situation may arise. Lawmakers debated for 3 hours last night over the permit bill. Governor Holcomb has 7 days to sign or veto it. And as the session ended, state lawmakers did not make a move to suspend the state's 32-cent a gallon gas tax. Republican leaders said such a move would jeopardize highway funding. Democrats argued for a suspension to save people money in the surge in gas prices.
It affects everyday Hoosiers that are working so hard to do their jobs and things like that. Big mistake, and something that's obviously been done in the past in times of a need. With the gas prices really rising, I think it was a big missed opportunity.
And as of this morning, Indiana is 1 penny away from a gas price record. Gas Buddy pegs the current state average at $4.24 a gallon, just shy of the record high set in 2011. It comes as the nation sees record averages for gas. Our crews found gas as high as $4.55 on the east side yesterday. Indiana's $4.24 average is 11 cents higher than yesterday and 65 cents higher than last week. The number of counties with the average price at $4 or less is dwindling. Only a few counties are left in a map indication of the price per county. The dark blue color is the cheapest that is in the state, and there are not many counties left in that color. And the higher prices at the pump, leaving some delivery drivers with less pay at the end of the day. Drivers for, say, Cluster Truck or DoorDash or Uber Eats, those sorts of things. But Cluster Truck, it's a local delivery-only restaurant. It says it's not needed to add additional fees yet to make up for the increase in cost of gas. The company leaders say that they may have to reconsider that if prices keep climbing. But the co-founder says for now, it's easier for Cluster Truck than it would be for, say, a larger company to keep prices the same.
They only drive a 6 or 7 minute radius, so they can make a lot more money than, say, if they were driving for a third party like a DoorDash or something like that, where, they may be driving 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
And oftentimes for Cluster Truck, the delivery drivers are on bicycles, so that's certainly gas-free. Now, he says so far the company has been able to keep prices the same despite the increasing food costs as well. He says he's hopeful that they'll be able to keep prices where they are, even if gas prices rise more.
This is a step that we're taking to inflict further pain on Putin, but there will be cost as well here in the United States.
President Biden declares defending freedom will cost Americans. Biden ordered a ban on Russian oil imports. An announcement we brought you as breaking news on Wish TV. Now, European allies are more dependent on Russian energy and may not be able to join in immediately. Indiana Republican Congresswoman Jackie Walorski talked about Biden's decision with our Phil Sanchez on Unfiltered last night. She said the administration can make one big move to help families with rising gas prices.
There's no answer out of this other than producing domestically. America saw this under the former administration. Every American did well in the economy, had more money in their pocket. And now here we are with something that looks, unbelievable, and it's tough. And Americans understand where we are. So maybe we can discuss those things. But what we know is tried and true. And we have the background and we have the data to show we need domestic oil production in this country.
Right now, Republicans and Democrats are urging the Biden administration to impose even more sanctions on Russia. And Russia did announce a new ceasefire starts today, and an evacuation corridor out of Sumy, Ukraine will stay open. Officials say it will open from 9 to 9 local time. According to the deputy head of the Ukrainian presidential office, some 5,000 civilians were able to evacuate through the corridor yesterday. Sumy has been the target of several Russian attacks over the past few days. Ukrainian authorities say at least 21 civilians were killed in a Russian airstrike Monday night. President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling for a no-fly zone, but the U.S. and NATO are refusing to go that far.
And we have a responsibility to ensure the conflict does not escalate and spread beyond Ukraine. That would be even more dangerous, destructive, and even more deadly. The situation could spiral out of control.
Western companies are continuing to pull their business out of Russia. McDonald's and Starbucks are the most recent to take that action. And today, the release of a woman who was at the wheel in the 2018 bus stop tragedy in Rochester. Alyssa Shepard was sentenced to 3 years, with 1 suspended for reckless homicide and criminal recklessness. Prosecutors say Shepard passed a school bus while it had its stop arm out and flashing lights on, hitting 4 children. 6-year-old twin brothers Xavier and Mason Engel and their 9-year-old sister Olivia Stahl died. A 4th child was badly hurt. Shepard told police at the time that she didn't realize she was approaching the bus. The crash led to statewide changes and prompted state lawmakers to increase penalties for drivers who illegally pass stopped school buses.
I'm like, oh, my son is gone. My son is gone. That's my son. He's dead. He's dead. And I just want justice for my baby. I just want justice for my baby.
A plea for help and information from a grieving mother in the killing of 2 teenagers at an East Side park. We brought you the scene as breaking news on Wish TV Monday night. There were 2 teenagers, a 14-year-old and 15-year-old, shot to death at Dewberry Park.
My cousin, Shaquana White, she had just called her son and asked him where was he at. He said he was about to pull up at home. Within 15 minutes, she got a call with people hollering and screaming, saying they can't find him, and they heard gunshots.
Police haven't said what led up to the shooting. They've also not said anything about a possible motive. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. And new details are emerging in the shooting of an Indianapolis police officer. IUPUI is looking into the suspect's criminal history. Investigators say Officer Tommy Mangan and his partner first went to the scene because Malik Hill had crashed his car into a fence. The arrest affidavit says when the officers told him to put his hands up, he fired, hitting Mangan. IUPUI has now learned Hill has a felony history and was out on bond at the time. The head of the Fraternal Order of Police is questioning that decision.
3 years of pointing to the fact that we have a revolving door of criminal justice, specifically within Marion County, where repeat violent offenders are getting low bonds or no bonds and being cycled back into our neighborhood.
IMPD confirms Officer Mangan is not yet able to talk because of his wounds, which required at least 2 surgeries. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office says it has filed a motion to revoke Hill's bond due to this shooting. Duck boat rides are returning to Branson, Missouri for the first time since 2018. A new group called Branson Duck Tours says its boats have built-in safety measures and Coast Guard clearance. 4 years ago, a duck boat from a different operator sank in rough weather, killing 17 people, including 9 members of a family from Indianapolis. The National Transportation Safety Board ruled the tragedy could have been prevented and that the company should not have let the duck boat operate due to the thunderstorm. The investigation also faulted the Coast Guard for failing to follow through with recommended requirements for duck boats. Sentencing is next now that a jury has delivered a guilty verdict in the first Capitol riot case to go to trial. Jurors reached their decision for Guy Reffitt in less than 4 hours. Prosecutors charged him for taking a gun to the Capitol and obstructing the joint session of Congress on January 6th. The guilty verdict could influence plea deals in the hundreds of open cases into the insurrection. Reffitt's wife talked to reporters outside the courthouse and said her husband was used as an example. She encouraged others facing insurrection charges to not plea. Reffitt could face up to 20 years in prison. His sentencing is set for June 8th. And the leader of the extremist group Proud Boys is now charged related to the insurrection as well. A grand jury indicted Enrique Tarrio yesterday. Tarrio was not on the Capitol grounds that day, but prosecutors say he disobeyed a judge's order to leave Washington, D.C. days earlier. They say he met with other riot organizers in an underground parking garage. Tarrio has denied that he or the Proud Boys were involved. He's scheduled in court Friday. Today, the Big Ten men's basketball tournament kicks off at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Nebraska takes on Northwestern, while Penn State plays Minnesota in the first round of games tonight. The tournament runs through Sunday, with the winner clinching an automatic bid into March Madness. Illinois enters the tournament as the number 1 seed, looking to repeat as champions. And the Jaguars are waking up champions with a ticket to the big dance. The IUPUI women beat Cleveland State in the Horizon League title game at the Fairgrounds Tuesday. The Jaguars held a 15-point lead early in the second half, but the Vikings chipped away and got it close. But a critical sequence with about a minute and a half left proved huge. Senior guard Destiny Perkins buried a three-pointer and drew a foul, leading to a 61-54 win.
In that moment, I just knew that whenever I get the ball, that I need to shoot it if I'm open and just do what I do and keep everybody together.
It's been a long journey to get here, and tonight was a lot of ups and downs. We had a lot of ups, and then, Cleveland State, you got to give them a lot of credit. They fought back, made it really difficult when they started pressing, and I think our tournament experience from the past, being in the finals the last 2 years, really paid off, and our veterans, especially Dez, made clutch plays down the stretch, and so now they're going to get a chance to play in the NCAA tournament, and people will get to see them on a national scale, which is great.
The Jaguars now go on to play in the NCAA tournament for the first time. Quarterback moves are shaking up the NFL. One Super Bowl winner is moving, another is staying put. Seattle's Russell Wilson is headed to Denver in a blockbuster trade. It's widely reported that the deal will send the 9-time Pro Bowler to the Broncos in exchange for several players and draft picks. The teams are not confirming the details publicly yet, but their social media teams are leaving no question. Both posted tweets with jokes about Wilson from the movie Castaway. The Seahawks deleted theirs. Denver's is still up. Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. He ended months of speculation about his future, saying he will re-sign with the Packers. That will disappoint some Colts fans who are lobbying the team to find a way to bring the 4-time MVP here. A settlement is in for one of the lawsuits surrounding the Surfside condo tragedy. That was the building collapse in Florida last year that killed 98 people. The deal would give $55 million to families of the victims. The money would come from the 3 defendants listed in the wrongful death lawsuit, including the Homeowners Association and a company that performed a structural analysis on the building before it fell. The settlement still needs final approval. A bold robbery in broad daylight. Doorbell video out of Stockton, California caught the whole thing. It showed a woman buying candy from a man who was selling door to door. Police now say it was a setup to get her to open the door, so 3 other men could burst in and rob her. The crime has neighbors angry.
It's bad because the kids, somehow it hurts the other kids. It's going to hurt the Girl Scout brownies or cook girls and stuff because that's how they do their business and stuff. And so I guess now it's going to force everything to go online.
Police haven't announced any arrests yet. They released the video hoping somebody can help to find the robbers. And the Colts are launching a March Mayhem gaming tournament. It'll be entirely online. The tournament begins Saturday, March 26th at 3 in the afternoon. Teams of 2 will play Call of Duty against each other. The winning team will get Bose gaming headphones and a Colts autographed item. Second and third place will also get prizes. You do need to register your teams online. It is free to enter. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.